Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Devlog number 5. I'm super excited this one, and we're just going to jump right into it. We're already in preview mode here. So the game is not updated yet. The game is going to be updated later tonight. Today is Friday, December 18th. Okay? That's when I'm recording this video, and that is also when it's going to go live on YouTube a little bit later today, and the game update will also be up later tonight. So all of this should be playable, accessible to players, basically as soon as you're seeing this video, maybe a little bit after. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the changes here right away today. We don't have a lot, but it's going to look a lot different than it normally does, as you guys can already see. So yeah, let's jump into it. Okay, so first of all, from me to you guys, and also from our core content creators out to all of you players out there that play our games, happy holidays. Thank you for playing, and I hope you guys enjoy not only my update, but all the other ones that people are working hard on in their core games as well. So just to go over a few things here, we obviously have snow all over the ground on our map, okay? And I use this in two different ways, as you guys can probably see. We have a little bit of green, a little bit of the plants still poking through in some areas, like they're not totally covered, and then we have this really solid pure white that totally covers the hills, basically. And that's basically how I broke it up. All of the hills have solid white covering, and then the ground actually just has some giant decals on it, but I think that gives it a pretty cool effect. And basically what it does is a few things here. One, it actually does cover up the plants. Two, it covers up some of our ramps, our stairs, some of the bases of the trees, some things like that. So it just gives us, like, look at this rock right here. Just this little bit, this tiny little bit of snow that's kind of built up on the edge. I really love this. It gives me kind of a frosty, glazed over, iced over look, and I really like that. I also think it applies a pretty cool texture to some of these leaves and plants, some of the ground. It looks frozen, right? It looks a little messed up. Now, that is harder to see out here in the sun, but I really like the snow decals there in the shadows. Now, the obvious change, the one that we've been staring at straight in the face, is our giant Christmas tree in the middle of the map, complete with these little presents. All of this stuff is collidable, so you can actually run into it, jump up on top of it, dance on it, do whatever you want to do. Technically, you could sit here and hide behind the present and use it as cover if you wanted to. Good luck, it's really tiny, but the presents have been added to the middle hill there, along with the tree. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys this now before we get into anything else. I offered up a little present from me as a developer to you all as players, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to find this one. You can sneak under the tree right here, and right in the trunk of the tree is where it's hidden. You'll see this little F to wear button pop up, and you might be like, I don't want to wear a Christmas tree. Well, it's not a Christmas tree. You press it, you back out of the tree, you stand up, and voila, you have found our magical golden skeleton. Happy holidays, everybody. Going around here really quick just to touch on a few other things. We have our little snow mounds added to certain areas like this in the map. Some of our flat surfaces have got some little snow piles on them. We have our beautiful, colorful lights that actually go all the way around the outside of the map. I didn't want to clog up the middle of the map with too many aesthetic things, especially since we have this giant Christmas tree. And a giant Christmas tree in the middle of the map actually does change how people will have to play around it quite a bit. So this will be interesting. Maybe we'll get a permanent installment of something here in the middle, depending on how this works during games. But for now, it's really more of a festive thing there in the middle and around the outside. And then looking around, another thing that you guys should be able to notice is all of our trees have snow in them as well now too. I didn't want to cover stuff in snow completely. You can see, like, I thought about putting some snow up here on top of the skeletons, on top of the towers and stuff, but it just became a little bit too cluttered, and the fire would have melted that snow away anyways. So artistically, it didn't even make sense. But as we walk around the map a little bit more here, you can see there's that snow up in all the trees. The snow is always falling from the sky, and it just kind of gives us this atmosphere that we're in the middle of the beginning of this snowstorm, right? It's not 2 feet deep yet. Look, we still got some grass back here even, right? A little greenery to keep under our feet. But, you know, the trees, it's starting to build up in there, right? It's starting to build up on the ground, and it's always going to be falling from the sky in these games. Okay, so we are out of preview mode now. As you guys can see, the snow keeps falling, the lights stay lit, everything is as it seemed while we were in our little play session there. But here's my winter update tab right here. Basically everything that's been changed is just in this little folder right here. Some of the hills, some of that stuff will have to be changed on a bigger scale eventually, back to grass and stuff like that. But for now, this is basically how I built the snow-looking environment here. Okay, we have the presents, we have our gold skull costume, the lights, the Christmas tree, all there in the middle, right? The lights, of course, actually are on the tree and going around the map. And then we have a couple little added hills. These are the decal snow patches that I was talking about. I actually want to zoom out and show you guys these here just a little bit. And these snow patches I think are really cool because, again, you can move them around a little bit and it keeps the grass. You can see if I move it away, it keeps the grass and all those plants underneath and just covers it up with essentially this giant sticker. Right, and that sticker puts snow on top of everything that's there. So it's a really useful tool. I think you could actually change this color for the snow right here if you wanted to turn the ground different colors, blend different colors in. That'd be a really great way to do it. But the next thing is the snow itself, of course, right? And as you can see, our snow doesn't fall from the heavens or anything. It kind of starts at a weird, what might seem like an arbitrary height here, and it actually falls all the way through the map here, and it falls down onto our little winter circle area down here, which will also have snow, you know, all over the ground and still falling from the sky because it's falling through the map, right? Now if we go back up here, one thing that I touched on a little bit when it came to building my actual map out with these rocks, with the grass, with the hills, with the trees, all that kind of stuff, is duplicating items to make them seem real. And snow, rain, any sort of weather is really no different, right? So as you can see here, I actually have these 4 snow volume clients right here. If we take them all away, the snow stops. If we bring them back, boom, tons of snow. But all of these here actually have snow that's a slightly different size. If you come down here, for anyone that wants to look into adding snow to their core game, you can see the emissive boost kind of gives you a little glowy effect on the snow, right? A little twinkle in it. The life determines how long the snow falls. So since my life is longer, they're all set to over 15, 20, 30. It actually falls through the map down into my winner circle area, down into that victory screen, right? The particle scale multiplier is how big your chunks of snow are. The density, how many chunks of snow fall, right? And then the gravity, how fast they fall to the ground. And basically with each one of these snow volumes here, you can see my numbers are just slightly different on the particle scale, the life, the density, right? They're all just a touch different, and what that does is it creates different particles of snow that are falling from the ground, right? One thing that we've always heard is no 2 snowflakes are the same, right? There's not a single snowflake that falls on the planet that is identical to another snowflake when you put it under a microscope. So when your snow is falling from your game, you don't want it all to look the same. As you can see, we have some really tiny pieces that are falling actually kind of slow, right? They're just dropping real slow. We have some medium-sized pieces that are floating, and then we have these huge chunks that almost look like they're closer to us, right? We have these huge fluffy chunks of snow that are actually falling maybe a little bit faster than the rest of them, right? They're a little bit heavier, a little bit more dense. And bringing all this snow to life is just one of those things, again. More is actually more. You don't just want one snowfall mechanism falling on all of your players. You want multiple. And again, we'll kind of go back into the quick preview mode here. But as we look at this, this is how when you look up into the sky and further away, it gets really, really dense. But right in front of your face, if you're just standing here looking, it's not too overwhelming, right? It actually looks pretty calm in this area that I'm standing right now. Again, it takes a lot of fine-tuning and tweaking the snow, the rain, whatever weather you want to add. For different games, it'll take different, different numbers, different levels, different densities in this snow. But I think for my map here, we kind of hit the sweet spot. It looks really busy when you're looking through all of it here, but I think we just hit it perfect when you're actually running around the map. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up devlog number 5 for us here. As you can see, we have a snowy map coming your way later tonight. This map will be the map to play for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and then we'll go into our New Year's update. We'll get rid of the snow and bring in some amazing new things. But I hope you guys take the time, enjoy this, have a little fun with it, and again, don't forget, we have a little prize for you hanging out under the tree. Don't forget to go grab it, run around with it, have your fun, and of course, let us know how you enjoy it. Peace.